Greetings to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about our second unit, that is introduction. Okay, about the introduction about the second unit. The second unit is column and struts and beam column. Okay, so here with respect to the second unit, what is the syllabus we can have that we can see first. Okay, so with respect to columns and struts, okay, introduction, types of columns, short, medium, and long columns. Mostly we are going to classify as short and long column, okay, with respect to its failure category. Then axially loaded compression members, crushing load, Euler's theorem for long columns, assumptions, derivation of Euler's critical load formula for various end conditions, equivalent length of a column, slenderness ratio, Euler's critical stress, limitations of Euler's theory, long column subjected to eccentric loading, secant formula, empirical formula, Rankine-Gordon formula, straight line formula, Professor Perry's formula. Okay, now, so these are the things related to columns and struts. Second thing is beam columns. So laterally loaded struts subjected to uniformly distributed and concentrated loads. Okay. First of all, what is column that we have to discuss? Okay, column or strut is a number which they are going to have compression forces in that. Okay, if the member is placed exactly vertical, then the member is going to carry a compression force, then that member is said to be column. Okay, and any member, whether it is not exact vertical, it may be inclined or it may be, okay, and it is subjected to a compression load and it is going to carry a compression load, then the member is said to be strut. Okay, so this is the common difference between the name of column and the name for strut. Okay, if the member is in pure vertical and it is going to carry a pure compression force, then it is said to be column. And the same member, if it is not vertical, okay, now then it is said to be strut. Okay, so this is the things about column and strut. So mostly the example for column is, we all know that our building, the column we are going to take, that is a pure compression member which can carry. Okay, next strut. So for the strut we are going to take the examples of connection rods. Okay, then pistons, piston rods, so those things are comes under struts. Okay, uh, so the next chapter is beam columns, that is laterally. Okay, so first we should move on to column and struts. So the member which carrying only the compressive loads, then it is said to be column. Okay, now, and if you, compression member, so if the compression member is in vertical position, then it is said to be column. If it is inclined, then it is said to be strut. Okay, next, classification of column. It is short column, long column, and medium column. So with respect to the slenderness ratio, we are going to classify. Okay, so mostly with respect to short column. Okay, now if the height, that is the height to the lateral dimension. Okay, now the ratio is less than 12, then the column is said to be short column. Okay, now if it is greater than 12, then it is said to be long column. The short column mostly fails under crushing load. That is only can carry the compressive force. So because of compression, it is going to get failure. Okay, while going for the long column. Okay, now here also the compression force is only going to act. Okay, now but if I am going to apply the load, what will happen, it is going to bend. Okay, now so because of the bend, we are going to call it as buckling failure. So the bend causes the buckling failure. So the long column is going to fail by buckling. So consider this scale. Okay, now I am going to take it as a short column. So what will happen if I am going to apply it? It is not breaking. Okay, see here. Okay, now it going to fail by only crushing. Okay, now, but the long C scale. Okay, so if I am going to apply the force, what is going to? It is going to get buckled. Okay, now, so this is called buckling force or buckling failure. If again, if I am going to apply the load, what will happen? It is going to get fracture somewhere here. Okay, now at the middle. So this is the example for short column and the long column. Now intermediate column. So intermediate column, which is going to failure both by material crushing as well as by buckling. Okay, now, so this kind of column we are going to avoid in the actual construction. Normally we are going to give either short column or long column. Most preferably short column is best. Okay, now only it is going to get failure by only it's going to get failure by uh, crushing. Okay, so we all know that the concrete is good in carrying compression forces. Okay, now if I am going to apply tension, a small tension force is going to failure or get failure automatically. So because of this reason, and in the building, okay, now we have one concept, that is strong column weak beam concept. That means if the beam is going to get failure, only one place of slab is going to get failure. But if the column is going to get failure, the entire uh, location is going to get failure. Okay, now at particular where the column going to situated. Okay, now, so because of this reason we are going for strong column weak beam concept. Okay, now, so that's why if the column is going to get failure by crushing force, okay, now then it is going to take enormous time to get failure. Okay, now, so this is the reason we are going to prefer short column. Okay. So what is buckling? When a cylinder member is subjected to an axial compressive. So here we are going to discuss with buckling. Okay, now. So when a cylinder member is subjected to cylinder, I already said if the thing is greater than 12. For example, I'm telling, okay, now the height to least lateral dimension ratio is greater than 12, then the member is said to be cylinder column or long column. Okay. Uh, an axial compressive load, it may fail by a condition called buckling. So I already said, okay, now. So buckling is a geometric instability in which the lateral displacement of the axial member can suddenly become very large. Okay, so here the deflection is going to happen in the column. Okay, now in the lateral direction. So here they have given the two pinned columns. Okay, based on that we are going to. Okay, and one more thing, column. Okay, now if the both ends are fixed and the member is vertical, then only it is going to set to be column. Okay, if the end conditions are different, then we are going to call it as a strut. So here, the typical buckling failure of column as shown in the figure. Okay, now, so because of buckling forces, the this is crushing. Okay, here it is a buckling. Okay, so because of crushing, the reinforcement has been have the profile like this. Okay, now, so it is going to pure compression. So if I'm going to compress like this, automatically it can get bulge of reinforcement in all the portion. Okay, now, but if it is buckling, only one direction it is going to get the deflection of reinforcement. Okay, now in only one direction, which may be in the lateral direction. Okay, now, for example, if I can have the cross section of beam like this. Okay, now, and this is my cross section of column like this. Okay, now, and this is my column profile. Then I can get the buckling in this direction. Okay, now it is going to get failure. If it is like this, then it is going to be get failure in this direction. Okay, so this is the buckling failure, and this is called crushing failure. Next, examples of structural members and systems that are subjected to loads that may be cause buckling or building columns that can transfer loads to the ground. Okay, truss members in compression, machine elements, submarine hulls subjected to water pressure. So these are all the structures which can have buckling and which can get failure due to buckling. Okay. Then next, states of equilibrium, concept of elastic stability. So from the mechanics, it is known that there are three equilibrium states we are going to discuss. One is static equilibrium, another one is neutral equilibrium, third one is unstable equilibrium. So the static, I said, first one, that is called the stable equilibrium. Okay. So here, in the stable equilibrium, the force whatever, okay, now it is going to, there is no deflection, the member is going to stay in the actual position itself, even though applying the load. Neutral means there is nothing is going to happen in the profile of the column. Unstable means it can get failure at any state. Okay, now, so that we can get because of concavity and convexity. Okay, now, based on that, we can discuss right now. I will share the screen, another screen, okay, for ease of understanding. So before going to share that, the failure of column we are going to, okay, now we will discuss. So failure of column, okay, now. So the failure of column takes place due to any one of the following stresses, okay. It can happen due to any one of the following stresses. One is direct compressive stress. Okay, now this is suitable for short column. And second one is buckling stresses. Buckling stresses. So this is suitable for long column. And third one, combined direct and buckling stresses. BUCKLING, buckling stresses. Okay, now. So this is for medium or intermediate column. Intermediate or immediate column. Okay. So here, short column. Okay. Once I am going to apply the force, for example, here we can have one floor, here we can have another floor. So in between floor to floor, we can have the column. Okay, now. So if the cross section of column, okay, now is to be like this, B and B and breadth and depth, and this is I am going to take it as a floor height. If I am going to take this one as floor height, floor to floor height, okay, now either H or L I am going to take length, okay, length of column. So if it is like this and the actual compression load, I am going to take it as P, okay, then the stress sigma is equal to P by A. Okay, now. So here, if I'm going to apply the load, automatically it is going to have some internal stresses within it in the column. Okay, now at certain load, okay, now at certain load, the column is going to get crush, first crush. Okay, now. So that load is nothing but critical or crushing load. Okay, instead of critical, we can use crushing load. Okay, at certain load, the column is going to get crushing in the concrete. Okay, now crushing in concrete. So that load is nothing but crushing load. So that time, the stress is becomes sigma C is equal to PC by AC. Okay, now. So AC we want it should be as it is A, breadth into depth. Okay, now. But PC is nothing but crushing load here. Sigma C is nothing but crushing compressed, sorry, crushing stress. Okay, so this is the things which are related to our short column. Okay, next we should move on to the long column. That is failure of long column. So we already said the long column, this is breadth and depth, for example. Okay, now, and the flow to for height is more than, is the height to least lateral dimension is more than 12. Then the column is going to get buckling like this. Okay, so this is nothing but our buckling failure, deflection. Okay, so buckling of column. Okay, so here the column have uniform cross-sectional area. And the load is going to apply here and here. So if I'm going to apply the load, what will happen? The column, the actual column may be like this. But if I'm going to apply the load, where it can have weakest section, now that place it is going to bend. Okay, now. So that is called the buckling of column. Okay, now. If the failure is going to, okay, now, then automatically it is failed by buckling. So that buckling is nothing but bending or bending of column is going to happen. So because of bending, automatically, this is nothing but flexural failure. Okay, now flexural failure. So this column is nothing but buckling. When the column is going to get buckling now, at the time, whatever the load is available now, that load is nothing but buckling load or critical load or crippling load. So buckling or critical just or crippling load. Okay, so that the stress due to direct load, stress due to direct load, sigma is equal to P by A. Okay, whereas bending stress, sigma B. So we know the formula, that is M by I is equal to sigma by Y. So by using this, we can get, okay. So I by Y is nothing but Z. Okay. So P into uh, E into Z, whereas E is nothing but eccentricity of load. Okay, and Z is nothing but modulus of section. Okay, so eccentricity of load is nothing but here, whatever we can have now, this is we are going to call. Okay, now, so maximum bending of column, maximum bending of column at the center, we are going to term as E. So this is called the eccentricity. We are going to get it, and Z is equal to modulus of section at the bending. So this is the formula which we are going to use. Okay. So next, maximum stress and minimum stress we are going to find out. So if I'm going to take stress due to direct load as sigma naught, okay, now then the maximum stress is equal to sigma naught minus plus sigma b, sigma naught plus sigma b. Similarly, minimum stress is equal to sigma naught minus sigma b. So this is the thing which are related to failure of long column.